So, I have a question for you. So, as you know, I will.
Sit.
Okay. So, as you heard, I'm really interested in spirituality, and next year I will go in Namjoling to become a monk, and I'm conscious that my path will not be really easy. So my question would be, what is your advice for me in my spiritual path?
As far as Buddhism is concerned, Tibet tradition, it's the 8th century Tibetan king inspired very close link through marriage with Chinese emperor. He preferred Buddhism must bring directly from India, not through China. So Chinese Buddhists, wonderful, but they prefer more meditation. They not much sort of emphasis study. So then, at that time, 8th century, the top master of Nalanda was the Chandrarakshita, great scholar, logician, philosopher. He accepted the invitation from Tibetan king, and he introduced Buddha Dharma according to Nalanda tradition. So Nalanda tradition, we very much use logical approach. The Nalanda tradition, people who study logic and thinking logical way, and then even Buddha's own teaching, Buddha's own word, we raise question, why? Buddha says, yes, we will not go that way. Why? Why Buddha stated that? So immediately, you see, thinking, investigation, reason. So therefore, the Chandrarakshita himself, Chandrarakshita himself, a great logician, he wrote some text about logic and philosophy. You see, these, including our text, his writing, we study. So therefore, he himself, great logician and a philosopher. So he introduced Buddha Dharma, Nalanda tradition, and according to his own style, very much emphasis logic. So now the Nalanda tradition, logical approach, not faith, not belief, but always raised the question, why? So now today, in the Buddhist tradition, Pali tradition, not much use reason, logic, and Nalanda tradition extensively use reasoning. So traditionally, Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, these mainly follow a Pali tradition, not much use logical approach. And then China, the person, Hunzang, who introduced Buddha Dharma in China, he also studied Nalanda. So Tibetan Buddhist tradition originally introduced one Nalanda master, Chandrarakshita. And then Chinese Buddhists, you see the Shenzhen or something, he himself you see, study Nalanda. So China follow Nalanda tradition. Then through China, Vietnam, Korea, Japan, and from Tibet, Mongolia, and previously some republic of Russia, like Kalmykia, Tuva, and Buryato. These Russian Federation, because a member of Federation, you see, they carry Nalanda tradition. So we extensively, you see, utilize reason. So China, Japan, and Vietnamese, Korean, they not much pay attention about logical approach. They prefer rather meditation. So then, I think Tibet, till now, we very much emphasize importance of logical approach. And then Mongolia also is the same. When I say Mongolia, and Kalmykia, Buryato, Tuva, including these different republic in Russian Federation. So now, some publication which we, you see, made here, and also, you see, to translate into Japanese and Chinese and Hindi, English, like that. So some of them, some of these, also the text already translated into Chinese. So some Chinese scholar who notice, you see, these books, they describe Tibetan Buddhist tradition is truly Nalanda tradition, and Nalanda tradition is a very scientific religion. They express. It is true. Buddha himself, you see, express, "Oh, my follower, monks, scholars, should not accept my teaching out of faith, but rather thorough investigation and experiment." It's a very scientific way. So now, firstly, study, very important. Now, Namdriling and Belakupi, I have been there few occasions. They are sort of quality study, very good. So, the important is study, very important. Then, once we develop sufficient knowledge about Buddhist philosophy and the way to investigate through logical approach, I myself also, now last about 40 years, I have sort of serious discussion with modern scientists, mainly cosmology, neurobiology, and then physics, particularly quantum physics, and then psychology. So as a result, a number of scientists now really showing interest to learn Buddhist psychology, these things. And then quantum physics, I usually say telling, one my secret thing, there's when quantum physics, you see, when they explain about quantum physics, of course, I humbly listen. But in my mind, I feel I know better. Instead of learning from them, I can teach them. Because all sort of study the Chitta Mantra philosophy and the Madhyamika philosophy, clearly mentioned differences, appearance, and reality. Now, quantum physics, as far as the external thing is concerned, you see, there's huge gap, appearance, and reality. Appearance, it seems to see something exists there. But if you investigate, nothing exists objectively. So everything depends on observer. This quantum physics say now, the Nalendra philosophy, very similar. There's some Chittamantra philosophy. They say no external things, everything simply because of the reflection on mind. So there is no external things. That also quite similar, quantum physics. Then mathematical philosophy also. You see, if we investigate chata chajen cheche, chache ba serjela, chajen nyekyon.
So, according to the Madhyamaka philosophy, when you look at something, you know that the thing is made up of its parts. And when you try to, identify the object and try to find through the critical analysis, you will not be able to pinpoint anything as being that object because it's made up of its different parts. The parts make up the whole, and nothing can be founded.
So, to scientists, they mainly, you see, in order to know about reality. Buddhist psychology, the lot of destructive emotion is very much grasping appearances. So all negative emotion very much based on independent existence there, objectively. So the antidote of that is nothing objectively exists as appears. The reality much depend on because of the observer. So like Chitta Mantra say, mind only school of thought. So this helpful to reduce the strong grasping. There are good, independent, absolute good, absolute bad. So these causing anger, attachment. So nothing objectively exists. Then intensity of these negative emotion reduce. Like that. So therefore now study very important. Then gradually now since I came to India, I asked all monks or monastery. And previously, some monastery simply carry some ritual. Now every monastery, including nunnery, should start study, serious study. And now no differences, believer or non-believer, among believer or monk or nun or lay people, no differences. We should study. That's very important. Now whole Himalayan range, they want a small group, they develop, and their aim is whole monastic institution in whole northern India, Himalayan range. All monastery eventually should be learning center. That's very good. So now the study, very important. As I mentioned earlier, Namdruling study standard, very good. So you join. And then become monk or not, no hurry. I think better remain lay people. Or otherwise, become a few years as a monk, then disrobe, that's not good.
Dear Holiness, what mindset do you advise us, the youth, in order to fulfill a purpose That seems almost impossible.
Whether there is certain purpose or not, we're already born on this planet. So now, everybody, you see, have the moral responsibility to build happy world, better world. As I already mentioned, the 7 billion human beings, one community. Everyone wants a happy life. And yet, a lot of problems. Now, time come, not only look material thing, but look inward. Then, the ancient Indian psychology is very useful. So, my commitment is I'm trying to revival this ancient Indian knowledge about non-violence related with altruism. These should revive through education, not through some ritual. In India, a lot of temples, a lot of ritual. Now, ritual is also good, but most important is education, study. So ancient Indian knowledge about how to develop inner peace. Now this should combine with modern education. India, only this country, India, have the ability to combine ancient Indian knowledge about peace of mind and modern education about material development, including science and technology. You can combine these things. So, I think in previous century, 20th century, Mahatma Gandhi used to show world non-violence. A number of people you see very much attracted. Like Bishop Tutu, wonderful. And then also Martin Luther King. They seriously follow the Mahatma Gandhi's non-violent sort of theory. So now, 21st century, I think India, you see, should show the world how to bring peace of mind through training of our mind, not through prayer. So strictly secular way, in order to contribute whole world, firstly, should revive within the country. Then, I think the present existing Indian education is very much, you see, materialistic, material-oriented. So now, India is secular. So, whether believer or non-believer, you see, these should include in education. Then India really can make significant contribution regarding in world peace through inner peace. Yes? Since 7 billion human beings, one human community, so each of us have the responsibility to create better world, happier humanity. I believe that.
Hello, Your Holiness. You spoke about education, but how can we do it? How can we educate big masses to love and compassion in order to promote positive and good actions?
I think generally the proper way to promote inner peace is not relying on religious quotation, but mainly scientific finding. The religion or peace of mind, not for heaven, not for the next life, is simply how to become a peaceful, happy human being. then ecology, ecology. Then India's tradition, ahimsa, non-violence, also include, you see, protect environment. This is materialistic thinking, the maximum exploitation about nature resources. It is wrong, short-sighted. So this planet is our only home. Then global warming, now year by year, now increasing. So therefore, now here in Dharamsala also, 1960 I came here. That winter, a lot of snow. Then less and less. So therefore, now global warming really now become very serious. So I very much appreciate the Swedish girl. Very good. So these young people now really showing genuine concern about ecology is very important. Then Africa, huge continent, great potential. But meantime, the climate condition, and many area too much dry, and many area too much rain, a lot of problem. So this also related with global warming. So it's quite serious. It is a matter of our survival. If this global warming continuously increase, then after, now this is 21st century, then end of 21st century, we don't know. Some ecologist, some sort of expert, one meeting in this very room, they some express, they sort of express within next 7-8 decades, there's real danger world become desert. Less rain, too hot. So it is really Tibet, usually people call roof of the world. And sometimes I describe Tibet is supplier of water to India. So one my sort of commitment, a political matter, I totally retired. But the ecology about Tibet, I fully committed. So the some Chinese officials, and also sometimes it's a private business. It's in there too much exploitation, nature resources. So exploit nature resources, right, okay. But meantime, to keep ecology, including forest, preserve forest, or these things. So now ecology, that really become very serious, very serious. So like you, young people, should speak whenever you have opportunity. And more people now should say about importance of ecology. That's very important. Next.
Your Holiness, my question is about the oneness, to experience the oneness. How could we promote the oneness of humanity and nature in a very disconnected world?
Now, main thing is, I feel education based on scientific finding. That's really convincing. So I think education and media people, I think now should pay more attention, not just daily political sort of news, but what's long run, what serious sort of consequences about humanity, about world, including ecology. So these, I think, in the form of article, and occasionally some radio talk like that. That's very important. Now these, not like you see religious sort of concept, heaven. Then some people don't care about heaven. Now, should based on scientific sort of finding. So this very life, you see, very much affected if we carelessly ecology and inner value, like that. So education, talk, educate people, more talk, these things, I feel. Okay.
Dear Holiness, I wish to dedicate my life to others, and I know it will bring happiness, but also difficulties like doubts. What would be your advice to overcome doubts?
Now, basic as a motivation, how to bring happiness among the humanity. And then you cannot achieve easily or one way. So the same sort of goal to build happy humanity, but then method, you see, also different way. So whatever way you find you can do more, and then choose that. That also, you see, make significant contribution. Through one method, whole world change overnight, impossible. So when you find some way and make effort, and then maybe fail, then again 10 times failure, 10 times effort. Go like that. Since basic our aim is very good, to build happy world and a safer world. That's very right. Then you can make, I think, that same goal and different sort of field, you can make some contribution, I feel.
Dear Holiness, thank you for receiving us. My question is very simple. How can we face to life challenges when we don't believe in a religion? Thank you.
Yes, I mentioned earlier, we are not talking about next life. That's private business. We are part of humanity, 7 billion human beings. It is our responsibility. We are part of 7 billion human beings, humanity. So we have to think today, humanity is a lot of problems which our own, as I mentioned already, our own creation. So this we have to think more deeper way. What is wrong? Nobody wants problem, but a lot of problem our own creation. So we have to think more deeper research work. So then finally emotion, self-centered emotion, short-sighted and narrow-minded. Narrow-minded, short-sighted cannot see the reality. So we must, you see the reality more holistic way. We cannot understand the reality through one dimension. We have to use this human intelligence, 3 dimension or 6 dimension. Then we get the clearer picture of the reality. Then our approach become more realistic. Just one side, not necessarily. You say our action may be good motivation, our action is unrealistic action. So here again, use human intelligence fully. When we investigate, our mind should be neutral. I want strong desire, I want this, and then investigate will not be unbiased. So our aim, you see, certain things you want like that, but when we investigate, our mind should be neutral. Then we can carry investigation more scientific way, more properly. Okay.
Dear Holiness, I have one question about what are the main talent?
Talent
skills that we, Better World members need for the near future.
I think the motivation, warm-heartedness, sense of global responsibility, that's very much connected with altruism. And then with that, we must utilize human intelligence fully. As I mentioned earlier, look 3 dimensions, or as a long-term consequences. These are very important. So then, in different fields, economy, technology, science, and ecology, all these, then it is related about humanity. So different field. But in order to know that, our mind, as I already mentioned, our mind will objectively analyze, study. Then you get the clearer picture, the holistic picture, then approach. Okay? And when, I think frankly speaking, when we investigate these things, the religious belief, I think for time being, should aside. So, otherwise, everything created by God. And then, I think God, no time to investigate these things. And then the non-theistic religion, many Indian religion, no creator, like Jainism, Buddhism, and one part of Sankhya philosophy, no creator, but rather self-creation. But then, you see, more emphasis, responsibility on our own shoulder. The theistic religion is everything God, so quite simple. So when we face some problem, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Whether God listen or not. Of course, I respect all religion. I think important is the theistic religion. We all created by God. What kind of God? Infinite love. So entire 7 billion human beings are children of that kind of Father, infinite love. So if you seriously believe that, then no basis to kill each other. We, all 7 billion human beings, you see, they God's children, same Father. So all brothers, sisters. So sometimes I think the religion become lip service, not thinking seriously. First World War, Second World War, mainly in Europe, everybody, you see, pray God. If you really pray to God, believe God, then how can kill each other? All are children of same father. And all major religious tradition, main message is love, including Islam. One my friend, in public meeting, you see, he mentioned, as an Islam practitioner, you see, we love Allah, or similarly, we must love entire creation, a creature of Allah. Wonderful. Buddhist terminology, sentient being, mother sentient being. So same meaning. All, you see, should she should consider as dear as your own mother, like that. So all major religious tradition use different philosophy, but same message of love, forgiveness, tolerance, self-discipline. And I want to share one Bishop Tutu. I really respect him. We consider as a spiritual brother. Wonderful. So, since we become very, very close friend, I have due admiration, respect, that he described me mischievous Dalai Lama. And then I use mischievous bishop. Then one occasion was quite serious. You see, he half joke. He, as a Christian, believe God. So after his death, he ready go to heaven. Dalai Lama, non-believer, so go something different place. That, frankly speaking, hell. Like that. So there's the different philosophical views. Then there's such sort of a difficult sort of question. I feel best thing is ask scientists. Then scientists, I think, difficult to say these things. Next.
Your Holiness, it was an incredible moment in September 2015 in New York at the UN headquarters to see all the countries of the world approve this 2030 agenda and its 17 development goals. My question, what are your recommendations to see spirituality, compassion, well-being facilitate the implementation of this agenda? Thank you.
And basically, water on the teachings are.
So water, basically water is a source of our happiness.
Without water, then world dry. So then how to preserve? I think you know better. I don't know. So these, of course, with altruism, then you will not feel tiredness. Certain sort of bigger object, and then, in spite difficult work, carry work. So motivation, altruism is the source of inner strength. Otherwise, I don't know.
His Holiness. In Europe, we have been protesting for more than a year. Lots of, at least the young people, a lot of activists have been protesting for decades. Do you have advice for them, especially for those who are losing courage and for those who are doubting whether peaceful protest is the way to go?
As already mentioned, Firstly, we have to think our goal, make very clear. Then the method, we have to think whether realistic method or unrealistic method. Then you convince realistic method, then 100 times fail, 100 times re-effort. So that's the only way. I think even animal, also you see they, one effort fail, and again you see they try. So then we have this intelligence. So I think several times failure should not cause discourage, must determined. Okay.